Hello friends, welcome to my YouTube channel MKS Tech Talks. So in this YouTube channel, I have one playlist with the name DevOps Training Series Zero to Hero. So in this playlist, you can find the different topics like Linux, Git, Jenkins, Docker, Kubernetes, Ansible, Terraform, AWS Cloud, from basic to advanced concepts with real-time scenarios. So even if you don't know anything about the DevOps, so you can easily understand all these concepts. Just subscribe my YouTube channel MK's Tech Talks for more updates. Thank you.
Okay, so login has root. Now check ls. So we have one Git directory, right? So always we have to work in the Git directory. So here DevOps one is the working directory. Okay. So what we discussed in the previous session is so we discussed about these commands, right? So git add command, git commit command, git status, these commands we discussed. Okay. So what
Yes,
this git add command will do to move the changes from working directory to staging area, we
staging
can
area.
add git add command. Okay. So and here, what is our working directory in our case? Our working directory is DevOps one.
DevOps
Okay.
one.
Always we have to be in the working directory. So go to the working directory. Now check ls. So we have some files. Okay. So ls will give the files in the working directory. Similarly, what we have to do is whatever the files we have in the working directory, these files we have to move to the staging area. Then from staging area, we have to move to the local repository. To move the changes to staging area, we can use git add command. To move the changes to the local repo, we can use git commit command. Okay. So these things we discussed, right? And we are discussing about git log. So what this git log will do? It will show commit history. So up to know what are the commits we have, right? So that commit history it will show. So before that, so always we have to get the clean status. Okay. How to check the status? Git status. Okay. So
Git
first of
status.
all, check git status command. Git status. Is it nothing to commit? Working tree clean. So it represent. So what are the changes we have in the working directory? All changes are in sync with the local repository. So that is the meaning here. Okay. Now ls will give the files in the working directory, and to check the files in the local repo, what is the command? Git ls files. So this command will give files from the local repository. Okay. So check this one. You see, both are in sync. So that is the reason why we are getting working tree clean status. Now, so check the commit IDs. To check the commit IDs, we can use a git log command. And so these are the commit IDs we have. Okay. And if we need only commit ID, okay, so git log will give all the information like a commit ID and author, when the commit happened. So what is the commit message? All the details will get with the git log. But if we need only few details like commit ID and commit message, we can use git log hyphen one line. Okay. Where it is typing. Git log hyphen one line. It will give commit IDs and commit messages. Okay. So this is what we discussed in the previous session. And here you will have git show command. Once we know the commit IDs, right? So to check the changes, what changes we did in a particular commit, so we can use a git show command. Git show commit ID. Okay, so commit ID, git show commit ID. So what this will do, it will show changes happen in the given commit ID. Given commit ID. So if we have hundreds of commit IDs, right? So it is difficult to remember what changes we did in a particular commit ID. Okay. So in that case, what we can do is simply we can use git show commit ID command. So by using this, we will come to know what changes we did in a particular commit ID. Okay. So git show, so commit ID. So let us take this commit ID. Okay. So you see, so it is given commit ID, author, timestamp, commit message, and the difference. What is the difference here? So here test2 file got modified. Okay. So test2 file got modified. What is the modification? So plus represent this line added. This line added into our file. Okay, into our file, this line got added. Okay, that is what we are seeing here. Okay, so similarly, check for some other commit ID. So git show. So let's take this one here. Here you see. What is the difference? Difference is in file one. Difference is in file one. What is the difference here? New file mode means file one we created newly in this particular commit ID. Okay. So like that, by using git show command, we can identify. So what changes we did in a particular commit ID. Okay. And, and here now what I'm doing is so these are the files I have, right? ls-ltr. Here, this test2 file has some content, right? So for vi test2, go to the insert mode. Now what I'm doing is I'm deleting this. Just I'm adding. So this is just I added some means I did some modifications. I'm doing some modifications in this particular file. Okay. Now save the changes. Okay. And so now what will be the status? Tell me, what will be the status here? Can we get clean status or not?
No.
So here, if you see, change is not staged for the commit. Okay, so we are not getting clean status because we modified test2 file. Okay,
Yes.
as we modified test2 file, it is showing modified test2, modified test2. So now what we have to do? How to get the clean status? So we have to use git add command.
Git add.
Okay, git add test2 file name test2. Okay, again check the status. You see, changes to be committed. What this git add command will do? It will move the changes from working directory to the staging area. Okay, so now the changes are there in the staging area. So we have to move the changes to the local repository to get the clean status. Okay, so how to move to the local repository? So git commit -m commit message. Okay, so modified test2 file. Just I'm giving some message here. Okay, I committed the changes. So again, check the status. Earlier, we got some other status, right? Now, nothing to commit, working tree clean. And check the commit IDs. Git log hyphen online. So these are the commit IDs we have. Okay. Now, in this particular commit ID, what changes we did? How to know? So by using git show commit ID. Okay.
Commit ID.
So this is the commit ID. Git show commit ID. You see here, you can see plus represent, this line is added. Okay, this line, only this line is added here. Okay, so like this we can so what we can do is we can know what changes we did in a particular commit id by using git show command. So now I have these files, and what I'm doing is I'm trying to add some more files. So file 1, file 2 I'm adding. So I'm creating these files in the working directory. So ls, it will give the files in the working directory. So I have 5 files in the working directory. So check the files in the local repository, git ls files. You see we have only 3 files in the local repository. So now what will be the status here? So we are not going to get a clean status because there is mismatch, right? So working directory files and local repository files, and there is mismatch. Okay, so definitely we'll get untracked files. File 1, right? Okay, so file 2, these are the untracked files we have. Okay, so now my intention is I want to move these changes to my local repository to get the clean status. So here I have 2 changes. Earlier I have only 1 change, right? So I am able to use a git add file name, but I have 2 changes, 2 files I have. Okay. So now and I want to add both the changes to the staging area at the same time. Okay, I want to move all the changes to the staging area at the same time. Okay, so here what we are trying to do is in our working directory. So if we have multiple files changed, more than one file got changed. So if we want to move all the changes to the staging area at the same time, so what we can do is we can use so git add dot command. Okay, so git add dot. So what this particular command will do is so here if we don't mention the file name, so to move all files which got changed in working directory to staging area. Okay, so if you have multiple files modified in our working directory, so by using dot command, we can move all the file changes to the staging area at the same time. Okay, so git add dot, I'm using dot. Okay, so dot represent whatever the changes we have in the working directory. So all the changes we are trying to move to the staging area. Okay, so now I can check git status. Now changes to be committed. Okay, and so as usual commit the changes. So we have the status, right? Git commit -m. So new files added. Okay, so we committed changes. Now we can see, so we have 5 files in the working directory, git ls files. So we have same 5 files in the local repository also, and we are getting the clean status. Okay, you can see the status here. So we are getting the clean status. Okay, so now this is how we can do the changes. We can move the changes from working directory to the local repository. And so here, so if we have changes in the staging area, okay, and if we still didn't move the changes to the staging area, so how can we know? How can we know the changes? So that is also possible. So if you want to know the changes we have in the staging area, now in this case what I'm doing is I'm going to modify file 1. So just staging files. Okay, I added something here. So save the changes. Okay, now what will the status? We know the status, right? Changes not staged for file one. File one got modified. Okay, and now I can use a git diff command. So what this git diff command will do is, so it will show the file modifications which are not moved to the staging area. Okay, so these are the file modifications. File one is the file which is still not moved to the staging area. So by using this git diff command, so we can identify what are the files got modified in the working directory, which files are still not moved to the staging area. Okay, so the command is git diff command. So git diff. So what this will do? It will show file modifications, okay, which are not staged, which are not staged. Okay, so git so here we can see only one file. File one is one whose changes are still not moved to the staging area. Okay, similarly I'm trying to modify one more file. So I'm taking a test one file. Okay, so here also I modified the file. Okay, so now check the git diff command. So the status will be as usual, same, right? So the status modified file one, modified test one. Okay, these two files got modified and the changes are there in the working directory. So how can you say the changes are there in the working directory? Just by seeing the color of the file. Okay, color of the file represent changes are there in the working directory.
Indirect.
Okay, now so I know. So these are the files got modified. So if I want to know what changes these files has in the working directory, okay, then what I have to do? Simply I can use git diff command. You see, git diff command is showing. So file one, two lines got added for test one file. One line got added. The first line is the previous line only. There is no change. The second line got added. So these are the changes we have in the working directory. Now move the changes to the staging area. So git and dot. Okay. Now again check the status. Otherwise, I check the git diff command. You see, git diff is not showing anything here. Why it is not showing anything?
It's modified.
So we moved the we
Maybe
moved these changes to the staging area.
staging area.
Okay. So earlier the changes are there in the working directory. Okay. So what this git diff command will do? It will always show the file modifications which are not staged, means which are in the working directory. In the working directory, whatever the changes we have, that changes only it will show. Now it is not showing any changes. What it means? In the working directory, no changes are there. All the changes we moved to the staging area. That is the meaning here. Okay. So now we have these changes. We have these changes in the staging area. How can you know? So whether these changes are available in the staging area or not. So to know that, we can use git diff hyphen staged. Okay. So what this command will do is so it will show, okay, so changes available in staging area. In staging area, what are the files we have? So that files we can see by using the git diff hyphen staged command. Okay. So check this one. Git diff Git diff is not giving anything. Okay. So now we are going for the git diff hyphen staged.
Staged.
You see, now we are able to see. Now we are able to see something here. Okay. So similarly, if we do any modifications, right? So now check the status. Which status? So changes to be committed. So the status also telling the changes are there in the staging area. Okay. So we have changes in the staging area, and git diff staged command also showing these are the changes we have in the staging area. Okay. Now move the changes to the local repository. So git commit.
Git commit.
The message, random message we can use. Okay, here. So new commit. Now I did commit here. Okay. So 2 files changed, 4 insertions. So these are the changes we have. And so now check the status. So check the git diff hyphen staged. You see, nothing is there. We are not getting anything here. Okay. So git diff hyphen staged, it is not showing anything because we don't have any changes in the staging area now. What are the changes we have, right? All these changes we moved to the local repository.
Local repository.
Now check the status. Git status. Nothing to commit. Working tree clean. Okay, so both working directory and local repository are in sync. So we are getting clean status. Okay. So for this is how we can use a git diff and git diff staged command to check the list of file modifications we have in the working directory, that is as well as in the staging area. Okay.